What's the future of Starlink now?
I left middle of last year, 2023. When I joined, I think we had 60, 70,000 active users around the world. When I left, I think we were somewhere between 1 to 1.5 million active users. And that was after 2.5 years. Pretty incredible to go from 70,000 users to 1.5 million users in that short of period. I think now they're probably, maybe 3+ million active users. We had a lot of trouble with scaling our systems and our processes to handle that tremendous growth. But look, like SpaceX in itself was super cool to me. I love the idea of making humanity interplanetary, allowing us to be an interplanetary species. It's funny, Steve Jobs has that quote from his Stanford commencement speech about not being able to connect the dots looking forward. You can only do it when you look back. And the job that I had before SpaceX was at a company called Pluralsight. It was a edtech, educational technology company, software, that I thought I was joining just to have an excuse to ski as many days as I could in those 2 ski seasons while I was out in Utah. I optimized for finding a good tech company out in the Rocky Mountain West. Looking back, it's clear that I have this deep-rooted passion for education. There's so many able individuals who are born into this world, and percentage-wise, the number of individuals who have access to good education and a healthy childhood that kind of set them up for success later on in life is so small. There's also a quote, I forget who said it, that basically says, imagine how many Einsteins are born into cotton fields and die there and never are able to utilize their capabilities. And to me, education is a big part of that. And if you could democratize education, it's huge.
I just want to interrupt for 2 seconds and thank you so much for watching and supporting this channel. If you can like and subscribe and share with anyone you think would love it, that would mean the world to me. Let's get back to the show.
And then on top of that, when I joined Starlink, I'm not sure what the stats are now, only roughly 45 to 50% of the world had access to broadband internet, which people don't realize. 4 billion people don't have access to broadband internet. So you're living in a small village, let's say in rural India. You're going to school, if you're lucky, you're living your life, but you don't have access to YouTube. You don't have access to Reddit or these forums that you can utilize to research things, look up questions, educate yourself, which is what's made all the difference for me personally. And I'm sure there are other people out there like me who, would be able to benefit from that. And Starlink has already changed the world in that respect and will continue to. And because we have some of the best engineers on planet Earth and because we have done such good work there, I think Starlink to me was appealing because of that. And the future of Starlink, it's a beautiful future. So I knew everybody working there on every team, topology to account management and everything in between. And some of my best friends that I'll have for the rest of my life are there. And it's amazing what we were and are still currently building. And it's just one of those projects that it will transform the world.
Are we going to see Starlink on commercial flights?
Yeah, we signed a contract with Hawaiian Airlines, and I think they're in the midst of deploying Starlink to their entire fleet. Same for Qatar Airways, back to Qatar, and some other big airlines. So I would say within the next 5 years, every major airline will have Starlink on the majority of their fleets. And something I really respect about Elon, and maybe now it's okay to say, but when I first joined, there was a contract in its final stages with Delta to have Starlink integrated into their entire fleet. And the CEO of Delta said they made some amendments to the contract and basically wanted to own the process of how people connect to the Wi-Fi in the plane, like what you're used to now. So if you go onto oryxcomms.com, when you connect to it, you have to either buy a full flight pass for $10 or you can get an hour free as a privilege club member. That's what every major airline does. This was my introduction to SpaceX, and I loved it. Elon ripped up the contract. This would have been the biggest contract we had in SpaceX history, or at least Starlink history. And because Delta wasn't budging on what Elon's vision for in-flight connectivity was, where you should be able to sit down in your seat, connect to Delta Wi-Fi, and there's no sign-in process, it's free, there's no data collection. Because Delta didn't want to honor that, ripped up the contract, and that was it. So that's what Qatar Airways and Hawaiian Airlines will do. You'll be able to stream Netflix in 4K from your flight for the entire flight. Everyone can. It's crazy.
If you love this video, make sure to click these links right here to check out Tyler's incredible journey at SpaceX. Hear how he achieved 8 Guinness World Records conquering the Arctic Ocean, embarked on a solo trip to Mongolia while megadosing on LSD, and shares his wisdom on managing anxiety. Plus, don't miss his insights on the future of Starlink. Click these links right here to dive into Tyler's remarkable experiences. Thanks so much for watching.